Hi guys, I'm Sims Babe. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope that you had a very happy Christmas and New Year's if you celebrate them, or any holidays that you celebrate around this time. I hope you all enjoyed them. As you can see, I'm recording this before Christmas. Look, it's a busy time of year. Okay, I had to pre-record this, so yeah. Anyway, I hope that you all had a great holiday. Yeah, I thought a good way to start off 2025 would be to make a mod organization video. Because what better way to start off the new year by finally organizing your mods folder, because let's be real, it's a mess. Sorry, I just had to be honest for a sec. Brownie points to all of those of you who do have an organized mods folder. Look, I promise it sounds like a difficult task. It sounds annoying and time consuming, but I promise you it will save you in the long run. I learned the hard way playing like 6 years without an organized mods folder and 2 years with an organized mods folder, and let me just say, my game is so much faster now and it's so much easier to just sort out when updates come out and just... Anyways, in this video, I'm going to be going over some mod folder tips, some tips on how to make your game run a bit faster, and some tiny PC knowledge that might be useful to some of you with high-end PCs. And yeah, I just want to disclaim, there is no correct way to organize your mod folder. Don't listen to the people who say that, because organize your mod folder how you would like to organize your mods folder. It's your game, they're your files, they're your folders, it's your device. Please just organize it how you would like to. I organize my mod folder in the unofficial way, but it's just the way that works best for me. So I'm gonna organize it that way, and yeah, I recommend that you guys just organize it in the best way for you. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I did just have to change my t-shirt into my meme t-shirt. Hope you guys understand the root, like understand the reference. Anyway, yeah, that sweater was giving me... that was making my body dysmorphia go crazy. First tip is the general PC knowledge. So your local disk drive, don't fill this above 70% if you can. Obviously everyone is not cannot afford to not fill their C drive above 70%, but most devices that you buy will have a C drive and then another drive. I'm not sure if laptops work that way, but for most PCs you'll have a C drive and probably a D drive. So yeah, pretty much don't fill this C drive above 70% because it will slow down your device's overall performance, which means startup will be slower, opening and loading programs will be slower. So if you have The Sims 4 and you fill your C drive above 70%, your game is going to run a little bit slower because you're not supposed to fill this above 70%. Next, I don't recommend installing any games on your C drive if you can afford that, because obviously I understand not everyone has the opportunity to have separate drives to install games on and stuff. So my recommendation is, if you have extra drives, I recommend you install... I have on my main drive Dead by Daylight because it's an it's an online game that I play almost all the time, and The Sims 4 is on my main drive and Skyrim is on my main drive because those are like my top 3 played games. So they're all on my C drive, because if you have a game installed on your C drive, it will run faster rather than it being installed on like your D drive. So I recommend you install The Sims 4 if you play it every day. Like, I'm assuming most of you play it all the time, it's one of your most played games. I recommend installing that on your C drive, but then that low-key brings in an issue, because you also may think it's very smart to install The Sims on a different drive, because then your mods folder will be on that drive. But no, even if you install The Sims, for instance, on your D drive, your mods folder is always going to remain on your C drive. So what I recommend doing is, what I have done is setting up a hyperlink, and that basically means your mods folder will be transferred to a different drive, and it does take a bit of, or at least it took me a bit over an hour, but that's just because I'm stupid, to be honest. But what that will basically do is, you see how my EA folder has this little arrow icon? It's because it's got a hyperlink, so it's technically installed on my C drive, but any mods and stuff, it will take up storage from my H drive rather than taking up the storage from my C drive, because as someone who plays with a lot of mods and CC, you don't want to fill up your disk drive or your C drive because it will take up a lot of performance from your computer. It will slow it down. So if you have the space to set up a hyperlink, I really recommend that you do that, because now I have free control to use my allocated 2 terabytes of storage with The Sims 4. Like, let me just get you to understand. I have 2 folders on this. My Skyrim mods and my Sims mods. 2 TB of this drive is for Sims mods, and the rest of the 2 TB is for the Skyrim mods. Yes, my 4 TB drive is only for Sims and Skyrim. But if you can, I really recommend setting up a hyperlink to a different drive so that you can pretty much have free reign with your mods folder so that you don't slow down your PC or anything. That was just a tiny bit of PC knowledge and tips to make your game run smoother. Now we'll actually get into the actual mods folder. So I'm guessing most of you know where to find the Sims 4 mods folder, but if you don't, you go to your documents, Electronic Arts, The Sims 4, mods, and your mods folder will be completely empty when you first install the game. The only file that you will have is your resource config file, and if you delete this, it's fine, because as soon as you open the game, a new one will regenerate, so it doesn't matter if you accidentally delete it. Trust me, when I was like 10 and the first time I installed CC and I accidentally deleted my resource config file, I was panicking. I started crying. I thought that my game was broken. But no, it just regenerates itself. So yeah, don't worry about that. But all of these subfolders that I have, you guys won't have them or anything. You have free will to make whatever folders you want. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to go over is my folders down here. I'm going to leave these folders till last. The one thing I'll say about these folders is these folders are all script mods. So the one thing that they all have in common is they all have script files in them. I'll go into a bit more of that later. But down here, these main files that I have is this folder. It's pretty much just an empty folder. I just used it as a little divider so I could see where my script mods end and where my CC starts. So yeah, I'm not going to be going into full depth of all of these files because we'd be here for a long time, to say the least. So first I'm going to talk about my build by folders, and I'll pretty much give you guys a rundown of these folders after. Okay, so yes, I have just made some edits to my mods folder whilst recording this video. But first I'm going to go into these folders with these little sparkle icons, and I just want to say you don't have to do this, like put little icons for your folders, but I like to do it just because it makes it cute and more personalized, and I am a sucker for personalization and cuteness, so I like to put little icons on all of my folders. So all of my folders with the sparkle are all organized by creator. So all of my build by CC is organized by creator. For example, just literally all of my Taurus design CC is in the Taurus designs folder, and that is pretty much how the rest of the folders follow. And up here with the heart icons, I have my build by mods. So this is like, I have an override for the little green grid by Vixated, and my gizmo recolor, so my wall tools and my arrows, they're just pink instead, because if you can't tell, I love pink. So those are my build by mods. And I have my lot traits and challenges, which basically, if I have one mod by one creator, you'll see this in a few other folders. But if I have just one like mod from one creator, I'll just put it in. But if I have multiple from one creator, then I'll put them in a folder. Like Kiara Sims 4 mods I have in a folder because I've got multiple of her lot traits. So yeah. And my unsorted CC is just CC that I've put in my game that I haven't been bothered to sort out yet. So yeah, that's how my build by folder works. And I also want to say you can only go 5 subfolders deep with mods folders in The Sims 4, so this would technically be 1, and you can go 5 more folders deep, so this would be 2, and then you can make 3 more folders inside of here that go inside of each other, if that makes sense, because if you go further than 5, your game can't read the files anymore. So yeah, but I like to keep just like 1 or 2 or 3 folders deep, just because I don't like to go way too deep in my mods folder. So next we're going to be talking about my CAS folder. So this one, as you can see, it's got the hearts and the sparkles again, and I'm basically just going to show you my CAS mods first. So these aren't script mods, they're just mods that are like specifically for CAS, like overrides and stuff, or just CAS. So in here I have my CAS background, my positions, more CAS columns, more traits in CAS, my organizers, overrides, remove EA lashes, just normal, just mod CAS specific mods, so I prefer to keep them in my CAS folder. In my body replacements, I have any body part replacements like Magic Bot's feet and Lumia's torso replacements, and traits and aspirations follow the same as like the build by traits and challenges. If I have multiple traits by one creator, they get their own folder. But if I have just like one aspiration or trait, then I just put it in their own folder. And then when my CAS folder gets a bit complicated, well, a very much organized is my actual CAS items. So I'm not going to show you all of these folders because they're actually quite insane. My clothing is organized by creator, just like my build by, but the rest of the folders are a bit too organized. My accessories are organized, yes, by what they are, so bags, belts, jewelry, glasses, hats, yeah, they're all organized by what they are. It was a bit extreme, but this is what works for me, okay? And in here, if I have one file by one creator, or just a few, like 3 or 4 files by one creator, because I'm like 3 folders deep in my mods folder now, I just put them in there. But say if I have a lot of accessories by one creator, they get their own folder. But just because I'm 3 folders deep, I don't want to give every creator their own folder, because say this folder is 4 folders deep. So yeah, I just try to not take up as much space. If I have to create a folder for another creator, then I will, but if I don't have to, then I won't. So that's how my accessories folder works, and all of them pretty much work the same way. So my eyes, I have their own folder because I put my default replacements in here, so I know what eye default replacements I'm using, and then I just pretty much organize them by if it's a face paint eye or a heterochromia, or yeah, you get it, like catch lights and scaleras. Because say if I put these eyes in my makeup folder, say if I wanted to delete all of my face paints, I'd lose the eyes, so I try to keep all of my eyes together. My hair is all organized by what type of hair it is. The only folders that are organized by creator is the hairstyles, and I'm pretty sure my hairlines also work the same way. If I've got so many hairlines by one creator, then they get their own folder. And lastly, my skin details folder is where it gets very much organized. My skin details is organized by birthmarks, body details, yeah, I'm not even going to read all of this out. For example, I'll go into overlays and skin blends. Again, it follows the same principle. Certain amount of items gets their own folder. It's also much easier to navigate where your CC is, rather than who it's by. If you have a folder for, say, scars, you don't have to search through your whole folder, mods folder, just to find one file. You could just go to mods, CAS, skin details, scars, and then you'll find all of your scars, and you can really easily figure out what CC it is you want to delete, rather than having a big massive folder full of thousands of files. You don't have to individually look through them. So that's why I like to keep my folders so organized like this. Not everyone likes to be this organized, which is okay. I just think it's very easy to navigate where your files are, who makes them, and what you already have. So yeah. Next I'm going to be going over my menu and UI, and this is a new folder that I've made recently. So this just covers I have loading screens, opening screens, my plumb bob overrides, my font overrides, yeah, all of my plumb bob overrides, my main menu, and my music overrides, because rather than having the Sims 4 music, I have the Sims 2 music in my game. So all of my menu and UI mods, apart from my pink UI, they'll go in here so that I can easily keep track of menu and UI mods, because at first they were all in my default replacement folder, but then I was like, wait, I've low-key got a lot of UI and menu CC, so I'm just going to give it its own folder. So yeah. The next folder is my mini mods folder, and this is like mods that don't require script files. So I'll use the hickeys mod to explain. So as you can see, there's only a package file in here, no script file. So they're basically just package mods. My custom degrees, it has 4 files, but I don't want to put it with my script mods because I don't want to take up too much space where all of my important script mods are. So the mini mods, I just give them all their own little folder depending on what they are, and none of them have script files. So it's just really easy to keep track of when an update happens, because say if Ice Mun Mun's recipe got updated, I like to keep all of my food and drink recipes in a folder for Ice Mun Mun. So drinks, functional objects, recipes, yeah, and it's just really easy to navigate, because say if custom degrees got an update, I could just come and find the custom degrees folder and just update it. So yeah, and then the folders that have more like the heart icons, these are just like, I've got Love Triangle and More Kisses by Maple Bell, and I didn't want to have loads of folders by Maple Bell, so I just decided to put them in their own folder. AD Pindigo, I've got some rabbit holes, and I didn't want to have a bunch of folders for rabbit holes, so I just decided to put them all in one folder. It's just easy to keep track of. Like, I don't want to have each one individual folder for all of these by Simcatu, so I just put them in one, I'd say like one big folder. So that's my mini mods folder. My overrides is all also organized by who made them and what they are, because all of my overrides used to be just in one big folder, and then I was losing track of what overrides I had. So by naming them and naming who they're by, I can realize what override I've got already. Say if I wanted to get a replacement for the card games, if I come into my mods folder, I can see, oh, I've got the game card override by Large Tater Tots, and delete this and then rename it to the new override that I've got, because I just find it much easier to keep track of what overrides you already have, in case I forgot I've already got this override and then I put another one in and they start conflicting. So I just find it easier to keep track of what overrides I already have and who they're by. And then if I wanted to switch up what overrides I have, I just rename the folder and rename the creator. And yeah. My poses and animations folder, basically this accessories folder is just accessories that are pose specific, and then these, I usually keep my poses just in one big folder, but then I started having a lot of poses by the same creators, so I decided to put them in their own folders. So if I've got a lot of poses by one creator, they go in their own folder, otherwise I just keep them in a big poses folder. The next folder is my tray file folder, and this is basically just if I download a lot that has CC, I prefer to put all of the CC in its own folder, like the Oasis by Raya. All of the CC used just goes in this folder, because say if I wanted to delete my whole mods folder but still wanted these lots in my game, I could just delete, say, all of my build by CC, but then I wouldn't lose any of this CC that's required for the builds, because they'd all still be in their own folder. And this does cause duplicate files, but I will show you guys an app that you can use to delete duplicate CC files. Honestly, the only reason that I actually made a tray file folder was because one time I just put all of the required build CC in my build by folder, then I deleted my entire mods folder and realized, oh, I still want all of these lots in my game, but couldn't use them because I didn't have any of the CC anymore. So if I wanted to empty my CC folder, I could empty it, but I would still have all of the required CC for these lots. So that's pretty much just the reason behind my tray file folders. And lastly, for the CC, we come to my world replacements. So this is pretty much just This is also a new folder. It's pretty much just because I found a bunch of overrides for objects in the world, and I didn't want to put them in the override folder. So I decided to put all of my world icon replacements, because I do have some icon replacements. My map replacements, they all go in here. My terrain replacements all go in here. My seasons overhauls go in here. Lighting mods go in here as well. And yeah, pretty much just anything that changes objects around the world go in my world replacements mod, because yeah, I did have them all in my default replacements, but as I started getting more replacements for objects around the world, I just decided to give it its own folder just for organization purposes, and I like everything to be in its own category rather than my world replacements in my overall replacements. No, I don't like that. I want my world replacements to be in the world section. So that's pretty much the explanation behind all of my folders. But yeah, I really recommend, say, following the build by, like organizing by creator, especially with CAS, organizing by category, because you'd be surprised at how helpful it really is. Look, take it from someone who again played 6 years with an unorganized mods folder and 2 years with an organized mods folder. Look, it changes everything. It really does. So yeah, if you want to take any inspiration or tips behind any of these folders, do so, because it helps me so much, and it will probably help some of you guys too. So yeah, that's it for my CC folders. So then my actual mod folders, at the top I have a folder with the latest patch date, or when all of my mods are up to date by. So the last time I updated my game was the 31st of October, which is when Life and Death came out. Did I just say life and death? I mean life and death is what I meant. Sorry. So yeah, I keep note of what I never used to do this, but I did start doing it after the Life and Death update. Yeah, I just like to put what date the update came out and what release it is, so I can see what all of my mod versions are. So yeah, and all of my mods are pretty much organized by creator at the front, and then mod name at the end, because say if I had mod name, then it would be all messy. But say if I'm on AD Pindigo's Patreon and I'm downloading all of their mods, I can see what mods of them I have in my game, because look, when you've got as many mods as I do, it can be hard to keep track of what mods you actually do have sometimes. I see a lot of people prefer to put the mod name at the beginning, but I prefer to have the creator at the beginning, because once I'm on their website, I can see what mods I've got by what creator and just download them all at once. And say if I'm looking through AD Pindigo's Patreon and not all of their mods need an update, but say Divergent Sims does, I can just look through a mods folder and easily find a Divergent Sims, because the mod name is in all caps and it's got the creator's name at the beginning, and all of the creator's mods are in the same place, and the mod names are in all caps, so it's very easy to just see what mod it is. And you want to put an exclamation mark in the beginning, because mods that have a script file, you want to have them at the top of your mods folder, because if they go one subfolder deep, the game can't read them. And yeah, you don't have to put an exclamation mark in front of them, but because of Sims 4 load order rules, I put an exclamation mark in front of them. Honestly, this way it's just very easy to keep track of who made the mod and how many mods you've got by one creator, and it's very easy to see, oh, Get Corporate needs updating, okay, the folder's right here, so I could just replace the files that easily. Yeah, if you don't want to organize all of your CC, I at least really recommend organizing your script files at least, because it's really important to keep these organized, and it's very important to keep these at the top of your mods folder. Very, very, very important, because say if my unlimited jobs by Turbo Driver was down here, the game may have trouble reading it if it didn't have this exclamation mark. So yeah, just because of Sims 4 load order rules, you just need to keep your script files at the top of your mods folder, and you can't put like all of AD Pindigo's mod, like I can't put this extreme career inside of here because now the game won't read it because you can't put script files in subfolders, if that makes sense. You also can't separate the package files from the script files. Like say if you wanted to have a folder for the package files, then have a package for the script file. You can't do that because you have to keep the package files and the script files together. Otherwise the mods won't work, and most mods will give you a pop-up in game saying that you have to keep the package file and the script file together if you separate them anyways. But yeah, that's pretty much all of my mod folder recommendations and tips. But the last thing I want to talk about is actually a program called The Sims 4 Mod Manager. So this is The Sims 4 Mod Manager, and basically this is probably most useful to people who use CurseForge, because if you use CurseForge with The Sims 4, you can pretty much download any mod and update any mod from the actual app. It also shows you anytime your mods need to be updated. However, I have updated both of these, so I don't know why it's saying that there's updates available. The only thing I want to talk about with this app is the duplicate files section, which if you click on tools, at the top it says duplicate files, and if you click on exact same file, it will show you all of your duplicate files, and you can pretty much just delete these. So if I have any duplicate files, even if they show up in my tray folder, I typically just delete them, because if you have multiple of the same option, like objects, before I installed this, I actually had like 10,000, I'm not kidding, like 10,000 duplicate objects in my game, and once I deleted them all with this tool, my game ran so much faster. So if you have any duplicate files in your game, it will show you in the mod manager. And if you want a proper walkthrough of the mod manager, I'm sure you can find a tutorial, but I don't really use it. I only use it to sort through duplicate files. So yeah, but if you want to actually learn the Sims 4 mod manager, I recommend you look for a tutorial. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was different, but I just wanted to start off 2025 with organizing your mods folder for those of you who haven't, because you really should. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you had a New Year's, and I really hope that you had a good New Year's and whatever holidays you've celebrated recently, and happy birthday to all of you who have had a birthday recently also. I really hope that my tips have helped you in some way or something, and even if they haven't, thank you for watching if you have. But I will see you guys all in the next episode, because sorry, I'm so used to Not So Berry outro. I'll see you guys all in the next video, which is gonna be an episode of Not So Berry. I'm Sims Babe, I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you in the next one.